Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Jocelyn. Jocelyn. See, here's my thing. When it comes to a system with Jocelyn and Dex gotta work, okay? Dex doesn't just get to sit there and take off whenever he feels like it. He's not working at, like, I don't know, Walmart or some corporation or something like that. He's working for my boss, right? He's like, listen, I can't sit there and go to the concert because I gotta work tonight. She starts getting all caught up in her feelings, this, that, and the third. And once again, she starts with her BS rant about Sunny. I forgot just how annoying she's been. And once again, she decides to just show in true fashion how much of a spoiled brat that she is. This is the same girl who literally has been growing up on Sunny's money, on Sunny's blood money for years. Uncle Sunny this, Uncle Sunny that, right? But now all of a sudden, now she's all like Sonny's a criminal and blah 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 blah. Just pisses me off. And once again, she's all like, "Oh, Sonny, we could have had him in jail and yada yada yada." And she's getting all upset with Dex. And then she calls later on. It's like, "Oh well, I'm sorry. Sorry my ass. Sorry my ass." Honestly, tell you the truth, you should have kept your emotions in check and remembered that. Well, that's got to work. We got a job to do. Okay. And there's going to be times where he's going to sit there and disappoint you. If you act like that every time that he disappoints you or he can't do something, then maybe he should be with somebody else. Point blank period. Because nobody likes that they're dealing with someone like that. You are a spoiled princess of a brat. That is the bottom line. So Diane, when she was talking to Robert, he started talking about the WSB and Drew and the harsh sentence that he got, and asking if the WSB could sit there and, lend a hand to a hero. And Robert, first of all, Robert was like, I can't sit there and sway them any sort of way or not. And basically, he was like, what Drew did wound up embarrassing them. And that's when Diane was like, do you think that it's possible that the judge gave Drew such a harsh sentence because of the WSB? Because let's be honest, 3 years? Come on. Seriously? All the stuff that he's done, he gets 3 years? 6 months? I don't know. I can see how that might be a little bit too easy. Maybe a year? But 3 years? Come on. Like that was OD, okay? That was pretty extra right there. So now she's gonna sit there and look into it. So Ava is pretty pissed off because she didn't get the body. And, she's sitting there asking Austin, like, yo, listen, I did my part. Where's the body at? Also, she was sitting there saying that she only took the castle despite Nicholas. Because you're sitting there looking, it's like, what do you need a whole castle for? You have Avery over there. Let's sit there and think about that. There are so many different tunnels and things of that nature. It may not be safe to actually have a child there. Just throwing it out there. And so my whole thing was like, I don't understand when she got it. Why didn't she just not sell it? Why did she not just sell it? But anyway, she wants that body. So Austin calls Mason, and now Ava's like, "Yo, listen, I need the body. Like, when am I gonna get the body?" And Mason's like, "Well, the thing is, if it was up to me, but it's not what the boss wants. I tell you what, though, the whole thing is going down tonight. Whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to go down tonight." Which is another reason why Dex can sit there and do the concert with Jocelyn. So it's like this whole thing is going down tonight, and then after that, we'll see. As they're leaving, Austin's like, "Yo, listen, whatever y'all got going on, this has nothing to do with me. I'm out. I'll talk to the boss, and it's a wrap." And Mason's like, "Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Austin actually really thought that once he talked to Cyrus that he was done, finito, and that was it. And I'm just like, really? All you have to sit there and do is do this one thing. You were just nice to him. He was just gonna let you go. Wow. I mean, I know that they had this, this past growing up and stuff like that, but he is Cyrus, right? Like, are you really gonna sit there and trust Cyrus to keep his word? Come on, bro. So you got that going on. Now, Brooklyn is upset, and to be honest, she has nobody to blame for except for herself. Leo comes over there, gives him a hug and everything. Um, Olivia's there. And eventually Tracy does get there, and Brooklyn's like, "Oh, you blackmailed me, this, that, and the third, yada yada yada. How could you do this to me? I loved you, I respected you, yada yada yada." And then she storms off. Olivia's like, "How could you do that to Brooklyn?" Just giving her the riot act, right? But Tracy's like, "Yo, listen, I did you a favor, and in return, you do me this favor. You pay what you owe. You pay what you owe." And she was thinking, talking about how I gave you a valuable lesson, and that is the bottom line. It is business; it's not personal. And when you ask for a favor, they're going to ask for a favor back. You think just because she's Aunt Tracy that it's just like, oh well, I'll let it slide. If it was somebody else, they wouldn't let that slide. So why should she? So again, in all reality, if Brooklyn didn't want to sit there and do that favor, she should have just told the truth from jump, and she wouldn't have had to do the favor. That's the bottom line. So she being all upset and whining and crying and stuff like that, that's on her. I do not have any sympathy whatsoever. Um, Now she's at Kelly's and Chase comes there, and eventually she does tell Chase everything, which is like too little, too late. But Brooklyn's like, I can't go back to the house, and Chase is like, just moving with me. So that's pretty much how that whole thing just transpired into getting to that point. Because I mean, I guess it gives it more romance or whatever for the people that actually still care about those two being together. Now, you got Lucy that's upset, talking to Marty about how her company is gonna go under because of Tracy and everything, and even though the trial is going to be like 6 months, she's going to be bankrupt and she's going to lose everything. And once again, I sit there and remind the audience just how much of a piss poor business plan that Lucy had if she only had one product that was selling that much, and that one product, for whatever reason, she couldn't sell that. You tell me that okay, so you're going to tell me that everything else that Deception has is garbage. It's literally trash. It's just it might as well be 99 cents at this point. Is that what you're sitting there telling me? Because I can't imagine one thing just keeping your whole business afloat. I can't see it. And therefore I can't sit there and be I can't feel bad for her. Now she also tells Marty um that she has to give up 75% of the company if she wants to stay afloat. And Marty's like, all right, listen. I mean, I get it, it's bad, but you'll still have a company. Lucy, being stubborn and pigheaded, is like, no, I don't want to sit there and do that. She's like, I'd rather just, she'd rather just not have a company at all than to give her 75%. And she's like, well, listen, I still got my real estate license. Now, my whole thing is like, I don't know how many people she actually has under her, right? Because as a business person, you're not just sitting there thinking about yourself and what you want. You have to sit there and think about the company, the employees and stuff like that, the people that work under her. And I mean, granted, it may have to be a lot of layoffs and stuff, but at least people could still sit there and keep a job and probably keep a roof over their head. But unfortunately, you have a manager or a CEO like Lucy who is right now caught up in her feelings. It's just that they're thinking, logically. And of course, then she gets a call from Ava, and Ava wants to sit there and sell the castle. Now, towards the end of the episode, Austin gets back, and Austin's like, hey, he's talking to somebody. They don't know who he's there talking to. He's just like, oh, how do you feel? And yada, yada, yada. And then there's Nicholas. Nicholas just sitting there, just drinking a beer, like, hey, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. So, is Nicholas working with Austin and Mason? You know? Because my dude is super chummy with this guy. Just sitting back, just chilling. So, that's going to be interesting. Now, the conversation between Alexis and Spencer was kind of interesting because here's the thing. Spencer has a very naive grasp of the world, particularly with parents, right? Nicholas did this, Nicholas did that, Nicholas abandoned me, yada, 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 right? Part of him saying all this stuff to Alexis is because deep down he really does love his father. And instead of admitting it, instead of admitting how much he loves him, how much he misses him, and how much he's worried about him, he rather sit there and focus on all the stuff that he did wrong. And the thing is, what Alexis is they're trying to get him to understand is that people are complicated. No one is perfect. And that's the thing about Nicholas. He tries to make it seem like Nicholas wasn't there for him before. For a very long time, he was actually really there. He was actually there for him. But again, people aren't perfect. They make mistakes. They're very complicated. It's not black and white the way that Spencer Smith is saying, and he seems like he has this very naive way of looking at things. Now, although Ace isn't his son, is his brother and stuff like that, in a lot of ways he is a father figure to Ace. And I feel like it's one of those things where it's like once he starts making mistakes and things of that nature with Ace, he'll start to grasp some of the stuff that Nicholas had to sit there and struggle with. It's very easy to sit there and talk about. It's very easy to sit there and judge other people that you're not in that situation. But when you get in that situation, you may find out that it's not as easy as you think. Yeah, I feel like that's about it. I can't think of anything else that ended up happening. Um, so with that being said, I'm gonna go. Now, if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the soaps, GH, YNR, Days, and BNB as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.